Hey guys, we're going to run with purpose today. We're going to talk about the fun part of a listing interview, and that's called how to present the price so the seller goes with the price that you want. And I'm going to give you, it's called superior and inferior. I'm going to give you the dialogue that you could say to a seller and get them to buy in to your presentation. And what's awesome is when you're sitting there with a couple and you're going to ask them both about superior or inferior. I had a listing interview many years ago. It was an expired listing and they weren't by owner at the time, but what they were at 1.9 million. Now I'm sure the agent who got fired from the listing wanted to know, what did I say to get them to drop their price to 1.3 million? I'm going to tell you what it is right now. And or listings that were at 500 that really should have been 465 or something like that. So the so as far as how using superior and inferior, here we go. I want you to put a property in front of a seller where it's facing them, and you've practiced this, and you blotted out the price of the property. At the top right of most MLS printouts, it says, 990,000 or whatever it says. And when you're showing the seller the records, if you take the price where they can't see it, they can just see the photographs, they can see the remarks. You say, hey, Bob and Sally, I got a question for you. Does this property look superior or inferior? The reason I ask you that is a buyer's going to vote as well. And you guys are pretty objective, we hope, right? So in any case, you guys are pretty objective. It's hard to say with a straight face sometimes because sellers sometimes are not objective at all. I've had sellers over the years go, I can't be objective. I can't say it. I already know what my house is worth and I can't be persuaded differently. But they can be, right? They don't want to be. So it's really simple, guys. It's called superior or inferior. So Bob and Sally, here's a property. It's half a mile down. You can see on this CMA report, it says it half mile away, 0.6 miles or so, 0.60. So it's half a mile or so. The question is, it's 3,400 square feet, and yours is about 3,400 square feet. It is a 3-car as well. It's on a half acre as well as yours. My question is, does this house look superior or inferior? They're looking at it, they're looking at the photographs, and she says, well, our kitchen's nicer than their kitchen. And the husband goes, I don't know, there might be nicer. You're going to see, this is almost like marriage counseling, marriage therapy. You're going to see them not agree, but they're working it out versus, by the way, whose opinion is more important to you in most discussions, yours or somebody else? So why is your opinion, as a realtor, why do we think it's our opinion? What we wanted to do is completely change the listing interview where we're interviewing them. They're not interviewing us. One of the components of that, we talked about the tax record as one of them. We have the velocity report. We have visual documents you're going to bring with you that the seller is, you're conducting the interview, they aren't. And because who's in control is the one who's asking questions. You ever talk to a 4-year-old who's asking question after question? Who's in control? The one who's asking questions. So we have a simple one to ask them. Does this property look superior or inferior to you? Sally, what do you think? Bob, what do you think? Well, we're definitely better than that. And the house is $1.4 million, and it's like, oh, they're thinking that. And so you're going to see we're here to help people be objective, and a lot of times they're not going to start out objective, and but isn't it your responsibility to find out, are these people objective or not? I mean, imagine taking a listing from somebody who's not objective. They're called part-time jobs you don't get paid on. What you don't need is 10 listings and nobody is objective. It's a nightmare to have listings that don't sell over long periods of time. It's a nightmare. So I got a listing, woo, but you're not going to want it if the seller's not objective about the pricing. So how do you figure out if they're objective enough? This is beautiful. The superior inferior question reveals objectivity. And so what we want to do is, by the way, if you see me writing down a note, because I have I got an amazing idea, and I want to share it with you later. And it's about objectivity and readiness and things like that. So are they objective or not? The way to reveal that is putting data in front of them and see how they feel about it. And you also want to figure out who's the decision maker. It's interesting when you put a property in front of two sellers, and what they do is, let's say Sally grabs the document and picks it up or turns it toward her. Who do you think the decision maker is at the table? Is it equal? They're married, whatever the case. There's two of them. Are they equal decision makers? No, they just showed their hand who the decision maker is. No big deal. It's just you know who's the decision maker, maybe who to communicate with a little bit more, because you have a short period of time to be at that listing appointment and win and eliminate the competitor. So this was a simple exercise. You're going to show a record, and you could show them an expired, a different video. I'm going to cover what order do you do the safe records in, all right? But I'm just going to say right now, if you show them an expired listing, like I did the 1.9 million, I showed him other expired listings in the area. And I said, Remax had this one, or Coldwell Banker had this one. I always made sure I said the company name. Give them credit. For the house was on the market for 300 days. The question is, does this one look superior or inferior to Bob, Sally? What do you guys think? And it's amazing to watch them interact. And then, all right, let's move on to our next property. And now you're learning what they're thinking. Are they objective? Where are they going to price the property? And then you could reveal to them, well, that house that you thought was superior was, you're at $1 million, that $990 is your list price by owner or when you were expired or whatever. And that one was $775. You want to see some sinking feelings, and where people go, oh my Lord, we can't do that, or whatever the case. But we're relocating out of state. We got to go. And so your job is almost a pricing therapist. If the property is overpriced, how do you do it? Now, not every seller is overpriced, but you still really want to get a feel from superior and inferior. Are they objective? Because you still have to get them ready for when the contract comes in, when there's an offer on the property. So hope this video was helpful to you, that in your listing interview during the pricing portion, feel free to blot out where the prices were. Just put a little sticky over it, or just draw it where nobody can see it. Put a black highlighter over it, and maybe write your number really small in a different section or on the back side of the page. But superior, inferior, as an exercise, will get you to expose if they're objective or not objective, and to see which one of the two sellers is generally the leader there. And that will set you up really for a properly priced listing so you get paid. Hey, if I can help you run with purpose, go to bornbravemindset.com. I would love to work with you in some capacity, or just brainstorm for about 15 different minutes. So hey, have a great day.